Today we have a fun video by Chari making a card from start to finish while celebrating the Olympics. I love the idea of using one of our alphabet sets to spell "You're a gold medal winner" on the inside for a thank you card. So say hello to Chari.
Hi everyone, today we're going to be making a very simple card with an Olympic theme to it. And I'm actually going to be using a Halloween set to create this card. I'm going to be using the circle, that's the moon, from the Happy Haunting set from Lawn Fawn. And this is going to be a very clean and simple card. We're going to embrace the white space on this card. So I've actually sort of planned out kind of what I want to do, and I've gone and looked up the Olympic rings to make sure I have my colors right and everything. And I actually learned what the rings mean today when I looked that up. They stand for the 5 continents coming together, and actually no one color has anything to do with one specific continent. It's just that all the 5 colors, at least one of those colors, is found in one of the country's flags that compete in the Olympics. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I wanted to share that. And I've actually gone ahead and cut my pieces. So this is going to be the top piece that we're going to stamp on. And I have cut this to, let's see, 4 1/4 by 3 inches. And I've actually drawn, I don't know if you can see it, there's a light pencil line. That's the center of my piece. And I've mounted my circle to where it's centered on the grid on the block, and this will help me line up at least that first circle. Part of the reason why I stamped it out is to kind of see how much space it is, because if you can see, it's kind of too high on this one. So it's about, that much space. So I can kind of get an idea on where to start with my first circle. And I'm going to start in the middle and work my way out. And I'm just using Memento Black for the black circle. Move that one out of the way. Then I'm actually going to move to the right. The next circle beside black is red, and I'm using Memento Love Letter ink for the red. Memento Bahama Blue for my blue. Now to move to the bottom, I have Hero Art's Shadow Ink, the Butter Bar, the mid-tone ink, because it's a really rich yellow, and none of my other yellow inks were quite as bright as this, and I didn't want the yellow to disappear too much, because it is the lightest color. I'm trying to avoid my center line. I'm using that to line up these bottom ones. And then I have some Jenny Bolin seed packet. Just going to go in and lightly erase the line. Now I've cut a piece that is actually 1/8 of an inch wider all around this piece. And what I want to do is add a little bit of interest. And I actually have some American Crafts glitter tape. And I'm going to line it up along the edges, because all we're going to see is the edges. So I'm actually going to cut this a little longer than needed. To do these inside pieces, I made sure I squared off one end, and I'm just going to line that up right there. And then You kind of go in and lightly draw a pencil line, which is probably hard to pick up on camera. Which will tell you where to trim. So I have a white card base. This is essentially how this is going to go. So to finish off this edge, I went and got my silver pen. This is a silver Uniball gel pen. So I actually didn't like the dashed line, so I made it more solid and went over the dashed. I don't know if you can see that on camera. Anyway, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to mount this piece on some foam adhesive. And I'm going to put this right onto the card box. So here's our finished card. It's very clean and simple, but it uses a seasonal set in a new way. It would also look great with if you had gold or bronze or copper colored glitter too, I think. I've actually decided after looking at this that I'm going to add some stickles to it. And I know you're all shocked because I put stickles on almost everything. But I thought the reason why, my reasoning is the glittery matte really catches your eye, and then the rings themselves are so thin, and so they kind of get lost. So I'm actually going to trace over them with some stickles. And it's actually great that they're already in the right colors of ink though, because like the yellow stickles, you're going to see through them because they're not totally opaque. So it's great that we've already done this work. So you can leave it here, or if you want to get daring, I've got, let's see, I have lime green, I have Christmas red, yellow, true blue, and black diamond. So those colors are going to work with what we have already here. And I think I'm actually just going to start and work my way this way. So there, I think that actually makes them stand out a whole lot better than they did before. So now, here's our finished card. I definitely think the stickles add to it. So thank you for watching. Bye.